3, 2, 1, go. Okay, welcome back. This is episode 5 at Countdown to Geek Town for, what's today? April 18th? Is that right, Eric? Yep. With me is Eric.
Hello.
Hello. So, we went and played golf yesterday. I managed to get the weekend off, so we might have something special with that. Just a little segment we were going to do at the end of the show where we taste test a couple of strange beers, I guess it is, while we're out there golfing. But other than that, let's get right into the news. We kind of had a busy week. Eric, you got anything you want to talk about in particular?
There wasn't a whole lot this week. The Jungle Book opened to 103.5 million.
Yeah, I heard it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's getting good reviews.
Yeah, that's really strange. I don't know. Maybe it's because we don't have kids or something. But
I'm looking forward to it.
Anthony loved it on the Nerdy Harry.
Yeah.
I saw his review last night about it. On Facebook. Let's see. Last week we talked about the Suicide Squad and all that stuff, but news has come out about Spider-Man.
Of a title.
What it's going to be named, yeah. Spider-Man Homecoming?
Yeah, that just sounds so stupid.
I think it's a throwback to maybe the 60s era Spider-Man, but I don't know. It just looks that way to me. I hate the name.
I didn't like the font, the name, any of it, anything about it.
Yeah, I'm going to be 100% on that one. I hate it. Michael Keaton is
rumored to be Vulture,
which would actually be kind of cool. They've been trying to put that in forever.
I know Sam Raimi wanted to do it.
Yeah, and I think he's a bit older, but he looked pretty good in Birdman. Like, he did that in there. But, I think he's about 65, 64.
Isn't
like that.
the Vulture an older character?
He's an older character.
Person?
I don't think he's geriatric, though. Let's see. So, we hate that, but what I do like is the Warner Brothers animation department. They are actually doing the Killing Joke. You know, everybody's been wanting this forever.
Yeah.
They got Mark Hamill to come back as,
the
Joker. And, what's his name? The guy who does...
is it Peter
Close. Conley's right. Yeah.
Okay.
We're so stupid. We should know that. Kevin Conroy?
That sounds right.
Something like that?
Conley.
Whatever.
I don't know.
But he's Batman to me. Like, his voice is. He's from the animation. He's from all the Arkham movies as well. That looks pretty good. But it's going to be rated R. So that's actually really good. I'm glad that Warner Brothers can seem to make a good animated movie. Mm-hmm. It just seems like they can't make a good movie otherwise.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is part of the old system that we used to deal with and never knew the difference with, about all their studio involvement, delaying movies, changing everything. Well, now that we got a whole new system with like Marvel, where everything's so streamlined, they've thought everything out, that we're just not used to it. And, we look at Warner Brothers like, come on, Warner Brothers, get your shit together. And it doesn't seem like they ever can.
They're too worried about setting up their whole universe like Marvel did.
They're too worried about making a blockbuster instead of making a good movie.
Just make a good movie and worry about the planning everything else out once you've got the base, the foundation set.
We're going to talk about a Warner Brothers movie from 2005 later, because we're going to talk about Constantine. Mm-hmm. We decided we might review it because it goes along with a Doctor Strange type of character, deals with mystics and other realms and stuff like that. So we thought we might give it a little throwback look. We enjoyed it. I think we saw this in the theaters together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went and saw this way back when, and neither one of us knew it. But I was surprised to see, it still had Warner Brothers, DC Vertigo label on the front of it and all that. But now it just seems like they're too worried about making this billion-dollar franchise. Yeah,
they even consider Batman vs. Superman to be a failure, even though it's made money.
It's made more money than Guardians, I think, now, which is crazy. But anyway, we'll get back to Constantine after we talk about the Doctor Strange trailer. It's just we went on a little rant about Warner Brothers being kind of terrible at movies. It seems like if they don't have books to go by, strictly stick to it, like the Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
They seem to fall apart, which gives me worry for the new Harry Potter movie.
Yeah.
Because to my knowledge, I don't think it's an actual book yet.
No, it's not an actual book.
The only thing else I got on my notes, it's slim on notes because we got a bunch of extra stuff this week, is James Cameron is trying to do four Avatar sequels.
He said Thor.
No, I would like to see his Thor, but I do not want to see 4 Avatar sequels.
I wasn't that crazy about Avatar. I don't understand why it was the phenomena that it was.
I think it's just because of the format. I like it decently enough, but I like, sci-fi a whole lot.
It was, to me, it was fine, but it wasn't a great, it was just another...
It shouldn't be the number one movie in the world.
No.
I think the visuals of it is kind of neat and kind of, the way that he used 3D was really good, and it hasn't been duplicated since.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I remember reading about some people that fully went into it and they wish they were Na'vi and all that stuff. And
I've seen where people had weddings like that.
Yeah, it's just something might be a little off with them, chemical imbalance or something like that. But hey, whatever floats your boat. Takes all kinds to fill the freeway,
Yeah.
I don't know about 4 sequels to it. One of them supposedly a prequel. I was like, if you're going to do it, do one underwater, like he said he was going to do, because he's all about, submarines and stuff like that. And then see how that does.
I don't know. How long is he planning on living? Because, how long did it take to make the first one? And now how long has it been since the second one?
Well, I think the first one he waited for technology to catch up to his idea.
Yeah.
Well, as long as his ideas don't exceed his grasp again, we should be able to get this. I think it's 2023 is the last one. He's a billionaire, so I think he's a billionaire. He should be. A lot of money makes you live longer, I guess. We'll see. I mean, that's all I have about that.
I have one more, and it's nothing big, but Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart want to make a Jumanji movie.
Jumanji,
and it's the movie's already going to be made. It's already going to be a remake.
Really?
It's already got a release date of July 20. I think it says 21st, 2017. But they haven't cast it. And Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson don't actually have anything to do with it. They just they're like trying to pitch their idea for it. Like they want to be the ones cast for it.
Really?
It's kind of a weird. The article I read was kind of a weird scenario.
So they just want to star in this movie.
Yeah, and
they want somebody else to do everything else for them. They just want to.
Yeah, they just want to be in it.
They just want to be in a fun romp.
Yeah, because I think they did a movie together not long ago.
Yeah, CIA. It's coming out soon, I think.
Well, I guess they liked working together, and they were looking for another way to do it.
Well, maybe they should do a twins. I think that would be kind of funny because Kevin Hart's so tiny.
I guess Jumanji could be remade. It's not a perfect movie. I liked it.
It's good. Do you remember who put it out? Was it Disney?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. If it's Warner Brothers, watch out. That's all I feel now. It's like if it's Warner Brothers, you got to give pause to it. Because they actually delayed. They had a Jungle Book movie coming out themselves with Andy Serkis this year, and they pushed it back 2 years.
It might not even happen.
No, it's not going to happen because they just greenlit Jungle Book 2 with Favreau, which will probably take 2-3 years to come out. So
I've seen this happen before. Whenever Sherlock with Robert Downey Jr. was coming out, they were going to do another version. Another company had theirs that was going to be
old Sherlock. Yeah.
No, this was going to be Will Ferrell and Sacha Cohen, Baron Cohen.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
They were going to be Sherlock and Watson, and it just fell through because the other one got out first and was popular.
Yeah, didn't they do like an old Sherlock with Magneto?
Yeah, I actually have that as Mr. Holmes. I think.
Is it good?
It's really good. It's him as an older man, and he's not used to being. He's getting senile.
Oh, really?
And so he's having to fight his own memories, trying to solve this one last mystery. It's really good. It's kind of sad though.
Yeah, I was about to say it sounds sad.
Yeah, but it's a good movie.
But let's see here. All right, last news article, I guess, is Doctor Strange trailer dropped. And we're not huge on Doctor Strange. I know him a little bit because I read him in some comics, and
I know what he looks like. That's about it.
he looks like Iron Man with a cape.
Little white streak in his hair.
Yeah. But it's Stephen Strange. He used to be a neuroscientist or neurodoctor.
Doctor.
Yeah, I knew he was a doctor, but I can't remember the exact type. But he apparently was super brash, super ego-y, and he has a car accident, and it messes up his hands quite badly. Like, he can't perform surgery anymore. Somehow he gets on a mystic trip and all that stuff. I enjoyed the trailer. I think it's a good, different view for the universe that they're building. I think he might have the last Infinity Gem. We haven't seen it. He might have the Soul one, or he might find it in this movie. I don't know if it's him talking in the beginning. I think he changes that sense.
Good.
I don't know. I mean, you have to listen to it again, because at the beginning he sounds Americanized when he's talking about he doesn't believe in spells and all that stuff. And then Tilda Swinton shows up looking like Mr. Clean and knocks the soul out of him, and he's like, "Show me," you know. And my wife actually said it looked like Inception, where he's falling through the parallel universes. But I mean, it looks good to me. I mean, I want to see this on IMAX 3D. I put it.
Yeah, I
Facebook.
don't like 3D movies. I'd never cared about 3D. This would be a movie that I'd actually be interested in seeing in 3D.
Yeah, I think it would be good to see the spells and stuff. If it's anything like the comic books and the way they can do those, I think it's bringing something to Marvel that they haven't had in a while, which is kind of the mysticism.
Yeah,
you know, it's all about what you call science, we call magic. You know, it's Thor's line from Thor.
Yeah, this is just the first trailer, and it doesn't even show him in the costume at all.
Just at the very end when he's walking.
I didn't even remember that.
He's walking up the stairs to the Sanctum Sanctorum or something like that. The big window, the picture that the poster is.
So we'll get another trailer or two.
Yeah, we ain't even seen the main baddie much. Michael Maz.
I don't know his name.
It's the guy from Casino Royale, Lashif. He looks like his eyes are burnt out or something like that. I don't know.
He's kind of weird looking.
Yeah, and then the guy from Serenity. Man, I need to write their names down.
I don't think you can pronounce it.
I don't think I can pronounce it either. You know, we're country, so I can't even pronounce the guy in Constantine that was in Gladiator. Dijamu or something like that. I don't know.
I got it written down.
I meant to listen to somebody else say it. I was going to try to copy it, but oh well. He's the witch doctor in Constantine. Speaking of which, we watched a movie last night. Separate, but we decided yesterday on a golf course that we might review a movie this week. And I was trying to think of a movie, and we had a bunch of others picked out.
Yeah, we planned kind of when we first started doing this podcast, we were going to do, I don't know, every episode, but if we needed more stuff, if we have a slow week or something, we would do a movie review, either like a nostalgic review of movies we liked as a kid, or guilty pleasure movie. Yeah, the ones we liked that are panned bad, or just a comic book movie. And there's a lot of comic book movies that people don't even know are comic books.
Yeah, we've always liked different stuff than it seems like the mainstream. Like, we'll like a movie and then it doesn't do so hot, and we like it for certain particular jokes, and we'll use them to death. Between us. But I mean, with nostalgic, we both have two different views of that, because some of the movies that you liked as a kid, I never even watched. Yeah. So that will be kind of a neat thing to do when we get there. We decided to do Constantine this week because it's very much like a Doctor Strange type of character. It's DC's. This movie does differ quite a bit from the books. The books is Hellblazer with John Constantine.
Yeah, I never read them either.
The guy looks like Sting. He was modeled after Sting, the singer from the Police. There's a lot of stuff they didn't do. And I was reading last night on IMDb that they made him American because when he was the screenwriter, which is actually the writer of the comic books, he had
Alan Moore.
When Alan Moore originally wrote for it, but this wasn't the one. This was the guy who was writing for him at the time.
Okay.
And in Alan Moore's run, he actually created Swamp Thing. So yeah, in Constantine.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
But he was pitching it around the movie studios, and he was getting no traction at all. he changed the character to be from Los Angeles and to be American, and he immediately got all these calls. It's like they didn't want to deal with British people, which is the opposite now, because it seems like everybody wants to do British TV and stuff like that. So he changed it, and they actually had Nick Cage on. He was going to be it. And oh my God, it's terrible.
At some point, he's been involved in every movie.
Every comic book movie, maybe. I don't know. It's the director at the time wanted him, and the director fell out, and Nick Cage shortly left afterward. And they brought in Keanu Reeves, and they brought in some director who I was looking last night. He'd only directed music videos before.
Before this movie.
Mm-hmm. Which kind of makes sense because it's a very stylistic movie. The visuals in this movie are just astounding in some areas. For 2005, it was very ahead of its time. Like it didn't show any kind of pause when it comes to this stuff. It's like you're gonna follow us on this path, and if it takes you 2 or 3 watches to get it, then so be it. Yeah. Because some of this stuff you don't get right away, and like the visions of hell and all that stuff. They said they modeled it after a nuclear explosion.
Nuclear blast, I read that.
And, I mean, it's very stylized. I think music video directors make some very pretty movies. Zack Snyder was a music video. And some of his movies look straight out of the comic book. So we get Keanu Reeves as Constantine. And you open up and there's... I was watching it last night with my wife, and there's that little Philippine girl. She's up on the roof. No, you open on...
like in Mexico.
In Mexico. With
under a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some guys just digging in the dirt.
Spear of Destiny. They find the Spear of Destiny. And I remember watching this in the theater, and when he gets hit by that car, you jump.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Jesus. It shows that little Philippine girl's possessed, and apparently it's not a normal possession, and he's got to come and do all this stuff. And then you actually see... Shia LaBeouf. And this is before Transformers. This is I guess is part of his breakout year.
Yeah, I was looking at it. He did a couple of movies, but they were more like kid movies.
iRobot. He did iRobot as well. Yeah. That's what got him this movie. Is his thing in iRobot, and he looks very similar to what he does in iRobot.
Yeah. And
then I think 2 years later was his Transformers and all that stuff. Then
he went crazy.
Which unfortunately happens when you're the face of $1 billion franchise and nobody's there to guide you along. Yeah, this movie has a lot of interesting facts to it. Like it doesn't hold your hand. Like I said, like I don't know anything about this character, but I know he's doing some kind of exorcism on her and stuff like that, and he's very good at it.
Yeah, he's just going through like a routine. Like
right.
He's not freaking out or anything. He's just going down the checklist.
And it's like this is him in his last days. Like he doesn't care anymore. He's fought this for years and years. Well, I was just going off memory. You got the notes. You can.
Yeah, I got a page and a half.
Okay, go.
Okay. The cat pulls up. There's a priest there. To tell
Hennessy.
Yeah, he's already tried to do an exorcism, and he thinks he has one for him, which is like a special type, I think.
Right.
And he goes up there, and he, like you said, he was just going through his little routine, and something's different about this one. It's not the normal. He has to get. They put like a mirror on the roof above it
because he said something about they're so vain. Yeah. They try to see themselves in the mirror.
Yeah.
So it traps them in it.
He's able to get it out of the girl.
Well, so he gets it out of the girl and
he punches it. That's what it was like it was trying to eat its way out of her neck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then he just like punches it right in the face.
Yeah.
He's able to pull it out through the mirror and then throws the mirror out into the sunlight.
Yeah, he has a little trouble getting it out there, but when he does, so the mirror goes, lands on a car, explodes, and then they have he sees the Spear of Destiny drawn on the girl's wall. Like he takes the picture off and he takes it because he immediately knows something's up. He doesn't.
He knows it's probably involved with this. She's actually seen it, or
she's had a vision of it or something like that.
He goes back down, talks to the priest, and he borrows his necklace for some reason. He later references like a bulletproof vest.
Yeah, it's a protection against evil spirits.
Well, we have a dream sequence with Rachel Weisz. It's not actually a dream sequence. It's her seeing her sister kill herself.
Her twin sister.
Yeah, running from something.
Isabel.
Yeah.
So she wakes up freaked out, and then it cuts to her, right? She's in confession. She's saying, how do I always know where these guys are? How do I know, she had to kill another guy today. You immediately know something, like she's got some kind of link, but you don't know what it is.
Right.
That's what's so great about it. So she confesses, and then
goes back to Constantine. He's coughing up blood, so you know that something's wrong with him.
He's got health issues.
Yeah.
So he goes to the doctor, right?
Yeah. They tell him he's got cancer. He's got like a couple months to a year to live.
Because he smoked 30 cigarettes a day since he was 15.
It cuts to like a shot in Mexico of the guy who has the Spear of Destiny, and all these cows are just dropping dead in the field.
Like pestilence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it cuts. This is where Rachel Weisz and Keanu Reeves actually meet.
At the hospital.
No, it's at the church. Is it?
Well, they meet very briefly at the hospital because she comes out of the hospital and he's in the elevator after he had just left, and she's like, "Hold the elevator, are you going down?" He said, "Not if I can help it."
Yeah.
And he just lets it shut, and she just looks at him. But yeah, they do meet. He goes to see Gabriel,
played by
Tilda Swinton.
Yeah.
And my wife hates her. This is the only role I do like her in.
Yeah.
This one here.
She's one of those actresses that's like, I don't like her because she's most of the time not supposed to be a likable character.
Right.
She's good at being that character, so it makes me not like her.
But I thought she was pretty neat in here, and we come back to the visuals of this movie when she spreads her wings.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's like the best angel wings you've seen in movies at that time.
Yeah. And this shows another instance of him. He's not a nice
Likeable.
person.
He's not
a
likable
dick.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has no reason to be nice.
Yeah, well, he's waiting to talk to Gabriel, and she walks up to talk, and he's like, "First come, first served," or something like that.
He's like, "First come, first served." She's like, "Oh, you're not just an asshole everywhere," or something like that.
He's talking to Gabriel, and you realize that he's just trying to buy his way into heaven, essentially. Mm-hmm. That he was born with this power.
You find out briefly that she says, "You're gonna die because you smoked 30 cigarettes a day since you were 15, and you're gonna go to hell for the life you took."
Yeah.
And immediately you're like, "What could that be?"
Yeah,
But it doesn't go into it then.
No,
So he kind of pisses her off in this. He's like, what's he call her? Half breed. But he says something to her. Man, her eyes start glowing red with like a fury behind them.
Yeah, I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah, because he gets pissed off at what she says. And then as we find out, the bishop that Rachel Weisz, Angela, that she went and talked to, they won't grant Isabel, her sister, a
Catholic
funeral because she was a suicide.
Right.
Which is very heavily no-no in Catholicism. And she's still adamant that she didn't do it. She didn't kill herself. So they both walk out at the same time. Constantine is just so mad he doesn't get in the cab. He walks away.
Yeah,
it's pouring rain, and Chaz actually steps out. Yeah, and says, "Constantine, hey John," So that's how she knows his name.
Right.
She heard it because she's a detective, so she's going to pick up on that stuff.
He's walking and gets attacked by a bug man.
A bug man. He says it's a full-fledged demon.
Yeah.
Later on in the movie. But he uses a screech beetle that he got from Beeman, from Amityville. I mean, all this stuff is just, they throw stuff at you that you don't get right away.
Because he's been doing it so long, he just has all these little tricks. And it doesn't explain it to you, but it doesn't really need to.
He immediately knows something's up with the guy, too, when he sees a crab
it's like
walking up
on the sidewalk.
It's like, what? But, and he's in L.A. I don't think that's a very common occurrence there. I don't know. I've only been once. But
so he goes to the nightclub from there to meet Midnight.
Papa Midnight.
Who is played by Digimon Huzuru-san.
Yeah. He's actually... the first thing I know him from is Gladiator.
Yeah, he was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
He was in Guardians now, but I love him in Gladiator. He's awesome. I just can't say his name. Papa Midnight, he's the only guy in this universe that's neutral. Yeah. It's a club for both good and bad that he runs. And they're actually playing a Perfect Circle song when you walk in. And I remember this being a big deal when it came out because It was the only place you could get it at the time was on the sound, or it wasn't even on the soundtrack, I think. But I remember loving it. I was like, oh yeah. But Papa Midnight is a witch doctor, and John goes to him because he says he needs to use the chair. We don't know what that means or anything like that.
This time,
and he won't let him because he says, there are rules to this game that they play.
Yeah. And in this nightclub, he meets Balthazar, played by
Gavin Rossdale
of
Bush.
Yeah,
my favorite '90s fan.
Yeah.
So this was actually kind of a good treat. I think he plays a pretty good villain in this. Like he has little mannerisms. Like later on, we'll see him in a liquor store, and he goes and he drinks water. Yeah. It's just funny to me. It's like his demon drinking water and all this stuff. And he says. He tells John that his health isn't so good, and he's on his way down, and he does that finger looking good thing. It's just creepy.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, I think he might have did something because he starts coughing like crazy.
Yeah.
Like he triggers it, and he just can't get it out, so he rushes outside.
It comes back to Rachel Weisz going over. There's a video camera where her sister jumps.
Oh yeah.
And she's kind of half paying attention, and in the video it shows her sister turn and say Constantine, and then jump, and then she rewinds it and it doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah, so she's picking up on something,
right? There. So she goes to see Constantine at his house. She's a detective, so I guess
he lives above a bowling alley.
Yeah,
which is kind of neat, actually.
And he's a dick to her again right away.
Yeah, he doesn't want to hear anything about her because he's like, suicide. She wouldn't do that because
what kind of mental patient would kill
crazy.
themselves? Yeah, and to her sister who just killed herself.
Yeah, and
that's not nice.
So, but she's noticing things about him. She's noticing the ruins that he has along his doorway for protection. She's noticing, she even noticed the spider, even though nobody talks about it.
Yeah,
and she lets him loose, and she says, "God damn you."
She leaves, and immediately he sees like shadows rushing past the window, demons are following her. Yeah, so he runs out to the street to talk to her.
Because he's instantly changed his mind. He knows something's up. He's used to this stuff. And he's like, oh, they're not after me. Yeah, he's like, they're following her. So he takes off after her. And he starts telling her about the wager.
Yeah, between God and the devil.
Yeah. It's not even a war. It's just a wager. It's like seeing who can control man. Pretty much. That's what he says, right?
Yeah, he said they're not allowed to influence.
No direct contact. Right, they can influences.
Use one word to try and trigger. So he said sometimes that's all it takes for somebody to snap or to do the wrong thing or the right thing is just a little influence.
Yeah, and she's a detective, so she thinks people are evil all over, and she thinks they're. So he's going off about it, and then you're noticing the lights are
just start going off down the street,
and. They start noticing, and she's like, "What is that? Power outage?" He said, "Not likely."
Yeah, and then you hear all the sounds, and he's like, I think she says, "What is that?" He said, "Wings."
Oh, wings and talons, possibly. Yeah. But
he's just preparing himself. He's not even scared. I mean, it's the whole street just goes pitch black dark.
He knows something's up.
Yeah.
And the only light left is the Jesus statue in the window.
Yeah, in a shop window. He wraps his hand up, lights it on fire, is able to repel all the demons.
That's actually, I was reading about
the Shroud of Moses.
The Shroud of Moses that he got from Beeman. It didn't show it in the thing, but he lights it up, and it's divine light, supposedly, because it's blessed, and it burns like hundreds of demons just out in the open.
Yeah.
And he even comments about it, and she's throwing up because of the sulfur. Apparently there's a lot of sulfur in hell, and they all smell like it. And so he's out there, and he's like, yeah, no demons are allowed to cross the plane. Yeah, right. So now she's convinced something's up.
And there's a weird shot here because he's just standing there. The lights come back. It's almost daylight again. Not daylight, but it's not super dark anymore. And he's just talking to her. And then this bus just goes flying by really loud. It just kind of weird. It didn't, but it just seemed like a weird thing to put into the movie.
I think it's a jump scare kind of tactic.
Yeah, because it's like the danger's gone now. They're just it's just weird. He goes back to her apartment because he wants to see if Isabel is actually in hell.
Right, and that's when the bus goes by and scares shit out of you.
They get there. he's setting up what he does to get there. Which she gets a pan of water. Mm-hmm. He puts his feet in it.
It's a conductor. Yeah. For the travel between the portals or something like that.
Between the worlds.
Yeah, and he's asking her to get something that is Isabel's that is a strong connection, and she says, he said, "What about the cat?" And she said, "Duck." And apparently it's the name of the cats. And she's like, "Oh, you think that's strange, you know?" Yeah. But apparently it was Isabel's. And he said, "Cats are good. They're half in, half out."
I can see cats being from hell.
That's why I don't trust them. I don't trust them.
No. Which shows a weird shot of him sitting sideways from the side of him and sitting in a wooden chair with his feet in a pot of water, holding a cat and staring into his face. I thought it was just a cool shot.
And strange. He tells her she has to leave, so she goes to shut the door. And right before she closes it, he channels in through the cat, and time stops, essentially. You see
right
it
as
slow
the door's
down.
about to click, it's shut.
Mm-hmm. And so we get our first look at hell.
Right, which we described earlier as like they designed it to look like a nuclear bomb and went off, and like the wind's blowing sideways. There's fire everywhere,
and you see him. He pulls out a holy water capsule. Yeah, and they don't bring reference to it. That's what I'm saying. There's so many little things that they expect you to come along. Yeah, you know, this is
get on the ride. You don't have to have everything explained to you.
This is Warner Brothers motif. It's like, you need to know this stuff coming in.
And I think this is where a lot of people, like critics, don't like it because they don't. I guess they want their handheld.
They watch it once, and you know, we grew up in a small town, nothing really to do, so we watch movies quite a bit, over and over. You know, like I said, I've
Netflix. And all that,
I've watched this quite a bit and stuff like that. So the little things is what excite me when I come back to watch a movie. Yeah. And this time I noticed he pulls it out right away, you know, and he's searching for Isabel. And meanwhile, as he's searching, these demons are picking up that he's there. Yeah. And they start following him.
I don't know if they've said it before this or some point in this, but they said that the demons and the devil and everybody hate him because he's like the one that sent more people back than anybody. Yes. And they said that the one person the devil would come to Earth to take his soul. Mm-hmm. He was one person the devil would show up to do that.
Yeah, and they say this 2 or 3 times. Yeah. First time they say this is at Papa Midnight's. Okay, I couldn't remember where you're the one soul he would come up to get personally. Yeah. So he goes and he sees Isabel, and she says his name just like in the video that Angela watched. Same framing and everything. And so he runs after her, and he's being chased, and he jumps and grabs something in the air.
It's her bracelet from the hospital she was at.
And at the same time, he hits that capsule against his heart.
Yeah, and it explodes the holy water.
Yeah, so it brings him back. Yeah. And it's all taking place in one split second.
Yeah, and so the second she shuts the door, she hears him making a commotion. Yeah. She opens it right back up, and he's just smoldering. Mm-hmm. Like his jacket and everything, just smoke coming off of it.
He's hot.
And he's got her half-melted bracelet in his hand.
And she's like, how is this possible?
Yeah. And he said she is in hell, so she did technically kill herself.
Right. So he said, I need to eat. Yeah. Apparently it takes a lot of you. Well, we cut to Hennessy, I believe.
Yeah, in the morgue, looking at Isabel's body, isn't it?
Right. He gets his little psychic connection, so he goes and finds Isabel, and he sees that symbol, the symbol of, as we learn later, Mamnon. Yeah, it's the devil's son. Well, he sees it, and he starts freaking out. He's going crazy.
He can't drink. He's trying to drink stuff, and you open it up and turn the bottle up, and nothing will come out.
He wants to drink to drown the voices out because he gets flooded with them. And so it's pretty neat. I remember this scene the first time I saw it. Like, he breaks the bottle open, and nothing comes out. It's like crazy. Yeah. But as it turns out, he was drinking all of that. Yeah. But in his head,
it wasn't coming out.
And so we see Balthazar walking around, and this is where he grabs that bottle of water and he drinks it, and I think that's kind of neat. Hennessy knows he's going to die, so he takes a wine cork puller and he stabs his hand constantly to get that symbol in it, and he drowns himself in alcohol, basically. And we're superimposed with him and Constantine and Angela sitting at the diner, the outside diner, where he's telling her about all this stuff, and
he grew up with the powers and how his parents.
And this is where you find out the life he took
was his own.
Yeah, So a suicide goes straight to hell. Well, he come back. They revived him in 2 minutes.
But technically, he still killed himself, so he's considered a suicide. So he's going
he
to hell.
knows exactly where he's going.
Yeah, so he knows once this cancer takes him, he's going to die and go to hell. And he's been trying to just send more and more demons back and save people.
He's trying to buy his way into heaven.
Which Gabriel tells him, you're doing it for yourself, so it's
selfish.
It's not working. You're not doing any good. Even though you think you are doing good, but it's only for yourself.
Well, she gets the call about Hennessy, and so he goes and he investigates them. And,
they go to the crime scene where the police just stand there while he just takes stuff off the body.
I was thinking that too. I was like, wow,
he starts wiping the blood off the hand, and I was like, he just contaminated the crime scene.
I thought that too this time. At the same time, I guess we got to get this symbol.
Yeah.
And so he actually calls Beeman with it.
Yeah, to find out what that symbol means, which we learn is the devil's son.
Yeah, later on, like he starts looking into it, and at the same time, he wants to see where Isabel died.
Yeah.
So he starts hammering Angela pretty hard. He's like, "Come on, you were twins.
Yeah, you have
know this
nuances. You knew."
Yeah, so there's got to be some way that you communicated with her, and then it's they leave messages on windows.
Right, so like when you blow your breath on it, you can see where you had written something before.
He points out Corinthians 17:1.
Something like that.
And she says there is no 17 act in Corinthians.
And he says there is in the Bible in hell.
Yeah. Which is, I think it's a neat set piece when Beeman plops it down, it's covered in plastic.
Yeah.
And he opens it up and it's like oil and tar. It's kind of neat. The whole hell stuff is all oil, tarry, kind of look to it. Even when later on the devil shows up, his footprints are that.
Yeah, so that's where we learn there's like a loophole where the devil's son can make his way into Earth and take over Earth.
With divine intervention.
Right. And using a powerful psychic.
Yeah, a powerful psychic, divine intervention, and the spear of destiny.
Right. At
this time, though, Beeman starts noticing their stuff.
Are they flies or bees?
They're flies.
Okay, I thought they were flies.
Yeah, they start going, everything starts going crazy in the bowling alley, and he knows something's up. He's, he can't defend himself. He's not that type of character.
And he knows he's about to die.
So he just tells John, he's like, I know you've never had any faith. You've never had reason to, because John knows, you don't have to have faith if you know of something. So he's like, but you need to know that we have faith in you. Yeah. He's trying to restore the humanity in John. So they rush to see him, and you see that fly pop out of his eye, which is a really gross effect. Yeah. But he's been killed, I guess, suffocated.
They hear him dying, and they rush there, and his whole face and body's covered in flies. Mm-hmm. Didn't they find something in his hand?
Not yet. Okay. She finally says that she could see things when they were young, just like Isabel, and just like Constantine. But it went away with her. She didn't believe it, so she wants to be able to see it again.
Right before this, it cuts back to the guy with the Spear of Destiny. Mm-hmm. Shows him steal a car, and then he takes off.
To Los Angeles.
Right, he's headed there. It goes to back to her apartment, I think it is?
No, it's his. Still.
It's his in the bathroom?
In the bathtub.
Right, she wants to get her powers back that she
forsake them.
Yeah, she talks about how like her sister would talk about seeing things, and then she would too, but she would deny that she did.
It, yeah.
And so her parents had her sister committed and gave her drugs or something.
Yeah, yeah. She's like, tell them, Angie. Tell them you can see it too. She just basically denied ever seeing it. So she's
her powers
blocked
just go
that
away.
Out. Yeah. They don't technically go away because she still sees, the bad people.
Right.
She talks
it just
about
comes through a little bit.
She just doesn't see it. Like she doesn't have faith in it. Yeah. She chose a different path. So
she wants him back, and he needs her to help him. Mm-hmm. So he essentially drowns her.
Well, he tells her she has to be. There's a funny little bit in this. It's the only real kind of humor this way in the movie where she's like, "Do I need clothes on or off?"
Yeah, it was a long.
Yeah, he's just thinking. She's like, "John." He's like,
"I'm
thinking." He's like, "On is fine," but it's just a good little beat. It's even though he's an asshole, he still has a little bit of charm to him.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's kind of weird because he she's just thinking she'll go under the water. It's a baptism kind of like thing.
Right.
Well, he has to almost drown her. And it's, she starts freaking out, and then time slows down because she's going over to hell. And so time slows down, and you see that one drop fall, and you catch it. Meanwhile, she's in hell, and she's looking around, and then all of a sudden, boom, like
Pulls
that.
her back.
Yeah, it like explodes, breaks his tub, all that stuff, and it unlocks her psychic ability. And this is when she finds Balthazar's coin.
Yeah, they go back. This is where I feel like something might have been cut out. Because they go back down to where he was and the body's gone.
Yeah,
there's no scene of like police
No.
or anything. It doesn't feel like any time has passed. It feels like they went upstairs and then they came right back down and he's gone.
I think that's just on the cutting floor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's something cut out there.
If you really wanted it spelled out, kind of thing. So she goes and she's immediately picked up on something. She finds that coin.
Yeah, Balthazar's.
John's pissed, He said, screw the balance when they started killing off my buddies, kind of thing. So he actually takes the dragon's fire that he got from Beeman and he makes this cross shotgun thing.
That shoots gold.
Yeah, that actually worked.
Yeah.
So that was kind of neat.
Goes to Balthazar's, looks like a building,
Business,
apartment builder. Yeah.
Before that, though, he gives her that rune of protection, that necklace. And she's like, I'm coming with you. He said, not this time. It's like, stay here. She doesn't, as all strong females will do.
Don't listen.
No, but so he goes up there and he's like, Balthazar's checking himself out in the mirror. They're vain, and you see it bubbling, and it's because it's being exploded. Fire's coming through.
Right, the mirror he's looking at.
Yeah, he's like, fire! I was born of this, and it's like he throws a holy water on him, and it like melts his face.
Yeah, and I thought the effect looked really good. To me, it was. I knew it was CG.
For 7 years old now.
Yeah, but whenever he's just sitting there, it looked like it was like actual like makeup.
Yeah,
it didn't look like it was like
that was 11 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2005.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
but I mean, it looks good, and he starts, Balthazar picks him up, and he's
choking
strong.
him with one hand, just holding him up in the air.
Yeah, but he pulls out his holy brass knuckles.
Jesus knuckles. That's all I've written down.
He beats the hell out of him.
Yeah, with little crosses on each knuckle.
So he's trying to get a confession out of him. And
he's trying to find out what's going on.
Right. And we see Angie, we cut back to her, and she gets out, she takes her jacket off, throws it in the vehicle, and she runs up there.
And her necklace is on.
Her necklace magically comes off.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to get this out of Balthazar, and he tricks him. He tells him he's going to send him.
He threatens to send him to heaven.
To heaven, not hell,
Yeah.
because he's from hell. And he says, a demon in hell, I'd love to be a fly on that wall, But so he's doing his last rites to him, granting him absolution, all that stuff, and he tells him about the spear of destiny.
Yeah, he gives in,
and then he's like, "By the way, you can only ask for absolution, asshole." And so then she comes barging in the room, and Balthazar says something. He's like, "You brought her right to us." Yeah. So he blasts his face off.
He shoots him with the shotgun and kills him, or almost kills him.
So they're heading out, but this shadowy figure comes up to Balthazar, and you don't see who it is. Mm-mm. And he's like, grant me my resurrection. I brought the girl.
I brought her to you. Mm-hmm. Bring me back, and I'll help you.
Right. And then
he just blows away. He starts screaming, and whoever it was just...
got rid of him. So this is kind of neat because you don't know who it is. They're walking. They get to the elevators.
And she just starts feeling weird. She feels like something's...
He realizes she's the psychic.
Yeah.
And he's like, where's the amulet? And she's like, oh, it must... And then she feels weird. And this was a really cool effect.
I love this part. Yeah. She just goes straight through the wall.
This was in the trailer, and it was like, holy crap. Yeah. This is what made me want to watch it. And so he is right behind it. I mean, he's running after her. He's trying to get her. And she eventually goes out. She goes through all these walls, desk, everything, and she goes out the window.
Just flying through the sky to where he doesn't know.
And so he knows that
he's got to find out.
Her.
Yeah, he's got to find out exactly what's going on. So he goes back to the midnight at the club.
Midnights, yeah.
Just kicks his way in, shoots through the door. There's nobody there. It's a closed business, except for the bouncer.
And this is where you see Midnight's pretty badass too.
Yeah, he's pissed off.
He puts his fingers in his belly,
like up under his rib cage.
Yeah, they're inside him actually.
Yeah.
And so he's gonna rip them apart basically, and he's pleading with them. He's telling them, you know, all
They're
this
not
stuff.
playing fair. You know,
He's the only one still playing fairly.
rules.
Yeah. So he convinces him that he needs to use the chair, and he says, "By the way, $200 shirt, asshole." But so the chair that they're talking about is the electric chair
from Sing Sing.
Sing Sing.
Yeah, it's taken over 200 lives or something like that.
And he needs it. They call it surfing. He needs to surf, I guess, the planes. You know, find out information. So they, you know, he has to electrocute them basically in the chair. So he hits them with the.
He pours water on the floor and then breaks a lamp and shocks him.
And he puts some Everclear on the floor as well. And so it goes back to like this, where Constantine is seeing everything that's happened since that guy found the spear.
His journey, everything we've seen of him.
Yeah.
And then the guy attacks him.
Yeah, in the vision,
Yeah.
you know, he sees that they're back where Isabel died, and the guy turns around and he's choking him, and Midnight pulls him out. This is when they know they're surrounded by all these people, and it's war. They got to go to war.
All these demons were at the hospital where Isabel killed herself.
And it's just, this is where Chaz steps up and
showing his knowledge.
Yeah. And so he's like, well, what's the point of being on the bench if you're not ready to play? So they give him ammunition, all that stuff. Papa Midnight starts praying for him because he won't fight with them, but he'll still hold his neutrality. So he starts praying for Chaz, and then he starts doing it to Constantine. He's like, Jesus, come on, Midnight. And he walks away, but he still prays for him.
Yeah.
So they get a cross from him so that they can bless the water. One of the cross of the church.
Yeah,
I forget what it's called.
Blessed cross.
Yeah, so Papa Midnight gives them that. So they show up at this mental hospital.
Yeah. Chaz goes and blows a hole in the water tank and drops the
cross in it. He blesses the water.
Keanu goes in the room and there's just demons everywhere. And
There's
he
like
starts
30,
talking
40
to
demons.
And he sets off the sprinklers.
Yeah, he's like, go to hell. And he lights it, you know, and they're like holy water, you know. And so they're weakened by this.
Yeah, it doesn't kill him, it just hurts him. So they come after him and he just starts blowing them away with a shotgun. And the last one comes running at him. And he goes to shoot him and the gun stops and the demon stops because he's expecting to get blown away. Yeah. And then he goes to attack Constantine and Chaz
shoots him. So they go in and Isabel, actually they see the dead Mexican guy who brought the spear. Mm-hmm. He's dead in the water. He's done. And they can't find Isabel. And then she comes out of the water and she starts.
She's possessed.
She's possessed.
Yeah. She tries to come. The demon starts trying to come through her stomach.
They pull her out of the water and he's trying to perform the exorcism on her. And they think they got it. And this is where Constantine kind of loses faith. And Chaz starts, speaking in Latin with him, praying and stuff like that.
They both start praying together.
And they think they got it out.
They think they've saved her, and then Chaz just starts bouncing off the roof and the floor back and forth. So
Constantine knows there's somebody there he can't see.
Yeah.
So this is where he unveils his 2 tattoos on his forearms. Yeah. They're actually called, I looked this up, it's like the Red Seal or something like that. It was a divine tattoo that he used for protection, and it was supposedly
alchemical symbol of the Red King.
That's right. I read it on IMDb. Is that what you're on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it draws things out to the light, and so when he does this, it exposes Gabriel, and you're like, holy crap! You know?
She's been in the one behind everything.
Yeah, she's supposed to be the hand of God, and she's trying to release the devil's son onto this plane, and she goes into her villainous rant. She's talking about how humans are granted this gift.
Yeah, their best comes through at the worst time, essentially. So she makes everything bad.
So she's kind of gone off she wants humans to prove their worth, pretty much. Like, we're granted this, all we have to do is ask for absolution. So she throws him out the room.
Yeah, into another room.
Mm-hmm.
He slams against the wall.
Yeah, and the door shut.
Sinks down.
You think, oh man, I mean, what can he do to fight her? He had no thing for it. So all is lost. she's gonna stab Angela, release Memnon, and Constantine asked God for a little help, and he doesn't get it. So he's sitting there thinking, and he decides to himself that he's going to take his life, and we don't know why at this time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man. So he slits both his wrists, and he just bleeds out. And this is when we realize this is when Satan will come back and personally get him.
Yeah.
That's what they've been
the
saying.
one person Satan will come to take.
So
back to hell.
he needs higher help, and as it turns out, it comes from the one person you wouldn't think.
Yeah.
So this is where we get the introduction of Satan in the movie, and man, he is awesome.
Yeah, played by Peter Stormare.
Mm-hmm. He's the Russian guy and a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
He's a very good character actor for sure, and he shows it in this. I don't think enough people have seen him in this because he's crazy. He just plays it so well. He's wearing all white. He's got tattoos. There's tar dripping off of him, oil, like I said, and just the way he talks is like, man, it's just good.
It's creepy. Yeah.
So he comes up there and he starts talking to John, and he does these little moments, where he's like, John can't light the lighter.
Yeah, he's trying to light a cigarette.
He says
his fingers won't work.
He cut too deep toward the tendons. It's like, oh God. But he's like, I didn't think you'd make the same mistake twice. Yeah. And then, you can see Satan thinks something's up. He's like, but you didn't, did you? And so this is where John starts explaining to him that his son's in the other room. He asked him, how's the family? Yeah. Lou. He keeps calling him Lou.
Yeah, I like that.
He's like, yeah, boys will be boys, He's like, well, he's in the other room. He's like, oh. He's like, with Gabriel. He's like, man, no accounting for taste or something like that. And he said they have the spirit of destiny, and then he knows.
He knows what's going on.
Yeah, so he's like, oh. He's like, is this another one of your cons? He's like, you waited for me forever. What's another 20 seconds?
Yeah.
This is when he bursts through.
Yeah, the other room's going in slow motion this whole time. And he busts through the door, which is all glass, and just it all freezes. And he walks through, little glass pieces are just kind of bouncing off him.
Very cool effect, especially for 11 years ago.
Yeah, and he just reaches under, pulls Angela out from underneath the spear, and then sets time back into normal speed. Where Gabriel slams the spear of destiny into the ground, and then seizes Lucifer.
Yeah.
And backs off, and then she tries to act like
she tries to smite him.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, seems
somebody
like someone
doesn't have your back.
Yeah. So he actually burns her wings off, which makes her...
He blows her away. It just knocks her back. I thought she was dead.
Yeah.
He goes back into the other room.
He sends his son back to hell.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. You see him fall through the floor, through the water reflection.
Yeah.
And he goes back to John, and he's like, this world belongs to me, but, so in due time. So that's when he does all that stuff. And he walks back to John. He's like, yeah, what do you want? What do you want?
Yeah, you want a little extension?
Yeah, he did a favor for him right now. And he's like, John does the unselfish thing. Right. He doesn't ask for an extension. He knows he's owning up to his mortality. And he says, the girl, Isabel, send her home.
Send her to heaven.
Send her to heaven where she belongs. And he's like, you would do that? And he's like,
okay. Yeah. And he just snaps his fingers. Done.
Yeah. He's like, done. All right. So he starts pulling him.
Yeah, I love that. He just grabs him by the leg.
And no, he grabs him by the left arm.
His arm?
Yeah, because that's the one he starts with when he cuts. Oh. It's the symbol for the bad stuff, essentially. It's always tallied as that. So they make a point to grab him by it. And he starts pulling them. He's
just like whistling or something. He's just talking to her.
It's every day. He's like, heck yeah.
He just tries dragging him across the room, and all of a sudden, just the ground, like he just stops.
Holds him.
And it was a cool effect. Like the tiles and stuff start breaking.
Mm-hmm. As it turns out, Lucifer says to sacrifice or whatever.
He realizes that because he essentially gave his life to save her, he's done something good.
Save her soul. Yeah. He didn't care about his soul, but he gave his soul to save hers. And so as he's rising up to heaven...
That's my favorite part of the movie.
He flips off Lucifer.
Yeah, it shows him going... Like the light comes down from the roof. And he just like double fingers over the shoulder. Like he doesn't even look at him. And the devil, it pisses him off. Yeah. So he reaches up and grabs him. And he's like, not yet. You're not going out.
Yeah, he reaches inside him.
Cancer out of him. and pulls him back to Earth. So essentially, he's alive again. He has no cancer. He knows there's a chance maybe he'll do more.
Mess up again. Yeah. He wants him to actually earn his way in,
right?
Which is kind of big fu to John. It's all he could do. It's his only play.
You can't stop him from going to heaven, but you can pull him back.
So that's essentially it, right?
Yeah. No, he goes back to the other room. Gabrielle's still alive.
Oh, that's
Her
right.
wings are burned off, so now she's human.
Yeah, so he knocks the shit out of her.
Then she comes out of the water, and she's like, here. She has a shotgun in her hand.
Because she knows if she dies, she
goes
pure
to heaven.
soul.
Yeah, she can go to heaven. So she's like, here, take your revenge. Shoot me. Yeah. And he just punches her in the face. He's like, that's pain. Get used to it.
Yeah, she reacts to it. It's the first time she's ever felt pain.
Yeah.
And she's like, you picked the higher road, John.
You're getting better already.
Yeah. But, so that was kind of neat. And then, he's having his little moment with Angela at the end. He gives her the spear.
Tells her to hide it, or even he can't find it.
Which means they're not going to be together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the end of it, ain't it?
Yep, that's the end of the movie.
It's a pretty good movie. I really enjoyed it. I still enjoy it to this day. And like I said, every time you watch it, you'll catch things about it.
Yeah, and I haven't watched it in years, so I just remember there's a lot of different set pieces in the movie. That's all I really... I didn't remember the whole story. I just remember each little individual place.
I mean, that comes from like I said, the music video director.
Yeah. I thought the effects held up a lot. I was surprised about how much they did. There's a shot or two that, the CG was off a little bit. CGI was off.
Once again, this is DC and Warner Brothers not holding your hand.
Yeah.
They want you to come along with it. Even though it isn't 100% about the movie or the source material, it's still a pretty dang good movie. Mm-hmm. So, what would you rate it out of 5?
Out of 5, I'd give it a 4.
Yeah, I'm 4.5 on that. I mean, the more you watch it, the more I seem to get it. I like Keanu Reeves though. At the same time,
see, that's another thing. A lot of people just don't like him. Yeah. I don't know why. But
I think this is a pretty good role for him. Yeah.
Him in general to me is a guilty pleasure because I always like him. He's one of those actors I'll go see, and I don't really understand why so many people don't like him.
Different strokes for different folks. But we'll take a little break here, and then we'll come back with some quizzes. I think Eric's got some.
Well, I was going to have some facts.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was reading them. I said Alan Moore, the writer of the original comic, due to negative experiences with some of the other stuff, had adapted, like From Hell and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He rejected all the money and credit from the adaptation. And he had him give it to the artist who drew the comic.
Yeah, he did that with Watchmen, too. Yeah. He didn't want anything to do with it.
Said the Nazi flag that the Spear of Destiny was wrapped in. Yeah, they destroyed it to keep it from falling in the hands of neo-Nazis.
It must have been a pretty convincing flag.
So there was an end-credit scene.
Yeah, where Chaz is an angel.
Oh, I didn't see that.
We've seen that.
I don't remember.
He goes back... Well, Constantine... This is, predates all the stuff. There's an end-credit scene. It's after the credits. This is before Marvel was doing it. He goes and he visits Chaz's grave. And he walks away, turns away. And when he does, you see Shia LaBeouf standing on his gravestone. And he sprouts wings and he flies up.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't think that's all I got. There's them or not.
So it's a pretty good movie. If you've never seen it and you kind of want to get this pumped for Doctor Strange, it's not an exact kind of thing, but they're very similar characters. This is DC's Doctor Strange, and I don't know which one come first. I'm pretty sure Doctor Strange was first, but seeing that trailer made me want to watch this movie.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I've never read anything about Doctor Strange. It reminds me a lot, or actually, the comic book Outcast that I'm reading by Kirkman feels a lot like this
with the supernatural.
It feels like the beginning of that story because this guy's just figured out that he has some kind of power to get demons out of people. And it feels like the origin story kind of almost. It's really good.
Now, NBC did do a Constantine television show.
Has it been canceled already?
Yeah, it was canceled. It was? Okay. It was very faithful, from what I hear.
Except for he didn't smoke.
Oh, yeah, because, everything's political now.
Right away, that was like...
You can't do that. NBC,
It's the producers, or the money people sticking their fingers in.
Yeah, so, I mean...
That's not really important, as long as he still had, the cancer or whatever that would...
I'm not a huge TV guy, but I heard it was very good. I watched a couple of episodes of it. Mm-hmm. and it seemed to follow the occult. So they did have one season of it, and they were going to renew it, but it just fell flat. They just they had a whole bunch of stuff. I guess they changed, the CEOs or something, because they took off like 4 or 5 shows they were going to renew at once. And he's shown up, I think, in Supergirl and other stuff.
The character or the actor?
Yeah, the character. I think there's rumor that he will show up in other DC shows.
I was looking forward to seeing it. I just hadn't got around to.
Yeah, I mean, we still got that one season at least. If we get pumped for, maybe Doctor Strange will do this effect for us. Maybe I'll go back and watch the Constantine television show. You just never know with this stuff. We'll take a quick break now, unless you got anything else.
No.
All right, let's take a little break. And this is where we got a little bit of special treat. I think it's Eric's way of trying to make me look like a dumbass.
No, last week, while we were waiting for it to load or convert the file or whatever, I was on a website and it was like how much comic book trivia do you know? So I was just quizzing Jessie. So I put together a little quiz for him today that we can do on the show.
He put together a quiz for me, and I'm just going to preference. I know a lot about stuff. I don't know a lot of extreme detail about stuff.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty fair. I cut out all the easy ones, like what's Superman's Kryptonian name, stuff like that. But I also cut out the super hard ones that were like, what happened on the 3rd page of so-and-so comic.
Yeah, I won't. This
I tried
will
to
probably be pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, I think you'll get 75% of these.
Oh, no. And you have 22 of them?
22 questions.
And they're Marvel,
DC, and then a little bit of Star Wars.
A little bit of Star Wars. So wait till I get to return to favor. Yeah.
No. Okay, first question.
Oh, here we go.
What is the headquarters of the Fantastic Four?
Oh, the Baxter Building.
Okay. You took my pen away.
Yeah, I did, because you kept clicking it. So I'm just going to keep a tally mark of all the ones I get right.
Number 2. Thor has 2 war goats that pull his chariot. What are their names?
I don't know. I didn't even know he had war goats.
They threw it out there, so I thought it was like, well, it must be common knowledge.
Harry and Carrie, I don't know.
Tooth Grinder and Tooth Gnarler.
No.
Gnasher.
No. Oh, God.
Number 3. Before turning to a life of crime, Mysterio was what?
He was special effects guy.
Special effects artist.
Yeah, I knew it was either that or a magician.
You marking how many you got right and how many you got wrong?
Yeah, I got it.
Number 4. Who paid Mac Gargan to become the Scorpion?
Kingpin. Damn it.
J. Jonah Jameson.
What?
I'm just assuming all these are right.
Well.
I mean, I figured they wouldn't make a quiz if it was wrong.
Well.
What vehicle is the Avengers' primary mode of transport?
Oh, the helicarrier? No, that's S.H.I.E.L.D. Not huge on Avengers. What is it?
I'll give you a hint. It's a type of jet.
Yeah, is it called... So many people screaming at me, probably. Quinjet or something like that?
Half point.
No, that's full. I'm going full. Fucking goats.
What was Dum Dum Dugan before he joined the military?
Dum Dum Dugan. I don't know.
You don't know who he is? I'm pretty sure he's in Captain America. He's the one that has the big mutton chops.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
The Howlers? Something like that?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Circus Strongman.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I thought you'd know that one because I thought it was more mainstream.
No, I don't know any of his early adventures.
What was Wolverine's name when he was a horseman of apocalypse?
When he was I meant to read this. The Age of Apocalypse. He only has one hand. I don't know.
There's only 4, so you can just guess.
I know. We got Pestilence, Death, Famine. What's the other one? Is it not one of those? I think he is Pestilence. Death. Ah, damn it. I'm doing terrible. I don't know what the other one is. See,
Oh.
he doesn't even know, folks.
The Vision is an android created by
Tony Stark in the movies.
who is in the comic.
I think it's Hank Pym. No, that's Ultron. I don't know. Who is it?
Ultron.
Oh, okay.
No, I think most of these are pretty fair.
Yeah, I'm doing terrible, though.
How many rings of power does the Mandarin possess?
5, 10. 10 rings.
Bullseye killed Electro with what?
Her own sigh.
Okay, now it's going into the DC.
Uh-oh.
Who killed Bruce Wayne's parents?
What continuity? Because I think in the Killing Joke, it's the Joker. No, in the movie, it's the Joker. It's Joe Chill, right? In the movie, it's the Joker, because I just watched that terrible thing. The
Like a
89.
cartoon movie?
No, the 89
Oh.
Batman. Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever dance with the devil in a pale moonlight, kid?
What is the name of Wonder Woman's mother?
No, it's not. Is it Themyscira? No, that's the island they're on. You can't say it, can you? What is it?
Hippolyta.
Damn it. I was all around it. I just read that, too.
Which Batman villain figured out his identity by deduction?
Riddler. No.
That's what happens in Hush.
Right.
But that's not who this is. I'll give you another guess.
I don't, Joker? I don't know.
Hugo
Two-Face.
Strange.
Oh, yeah. Not huge on Hugo Strange, but he's in the Arkham Knights game quite a bit.
Where is Wonder Woman from?
Themyscira.
Correct. You said that for the other one. I was like,
Yeah, I know.
well, he's going to get that one.
Damn right I will.
What is Aquaman's pet octopus name?
Oh, Jesus. Kraken. I don't know.
Did you know he had a pet octopus?
No.
Okay, so I didn't know if that was common.
I
Topo.
assumed he had millions of pet octopuses.
Well, it said it was his
Octopi?
Topo. T-O-P-O.
No.
What is Batman's butler's last name?
Pennyworth? Son of a bitch. I wanted to say Pennywise. The clown from it.
Now we're into Star Wars.
Oh man, I'm like tied up too.
Who called Han Solo a nerf herder?
Who's this scruffy nerf herder? Princess Leia? Yeah, that's right.
On which planet would you find Cloud City?
I don't know. I ain't watched Empire in a while. I don't know. I'm blanking right now.
Just guess one.
I can't.
You can't think of anything?
I mean,
Tatooine?
I got Tatooine, I got Endor, I got Jakku, I got everything but that damn planet in my head.
Just guess.
I don't know how. Oh, this is kind of terrible. I don't know.
Okay. Bespin.
Bespin. Yeah. Okay.
What planet is Han Solo from?
Oh, Kazdarin or something like that. It starts with a C. No, don't. You gotta help me.
It
out.
does start with a C. I'm
I know.
going to tell you.
I'm
though.
pretty close. He's a Kandarian or something like that. What is it?
Corellia.
Ah, I knew it was Corellian, motherfucker.
In The Empire Strikes Back, which creatures attached to the Millennium Falcon?
I know what they are. I can't think of their name. Man, I told you to tell me what this was so I can stay. Oh, well, I lost.
Minox.
Minox.
In what is Han frozen?
Carbonite.
What is the name of General Grievous's ship?
I don't know.
Invisible Hand.
Huh. I didn't even know that.
That's
Well.
it.
Well,
How'd
I
you
got 10 right and 12 wrong. That's pretty terrible.
do? I tried to be impartial.
But it was fun. Some of the stuff I'm an idiot for not remembering because I literally just read some of it. But it's fun. I think we should do this quite a bit.
Yeah, I'll come up with some more.
Maybe we could have people see what we know about knowledge, and like they'll send us quizzes or something like that.
If you have anything you want to ask us,
please go to our Facebook page and leave us something.
Skype. You can send a message on Skype.
We now have that Skype link open. It's an open conversation. You can say whatever you want to on it. It doesn't matter, you can leave a comment or anything like that. So if you did go to our Facebook page, you saw where I was talking about this episode coming out. I had mentioned that we might make history today. And, some people were kind of like, oh, I don't know what that is. It's the other day I started playing Top Gun for the original NES, Nintendo Entertainment System. This is a game I've literally sunk hundreds of hours in and probably never got past 3 levels. I've never landed a plane on it, and I've never did the refueling.
Yeah.
And I was showing it to my wife the other day, and I landed the plane. I wasn't even expecting it. Like, it just shocked me. I've never seen that animation. As far as I know, I've never seen... I posted it on my webpage, or on my Facebook, and nobody else has done it either. And so Eric called me out and said it really didn't happen, even though my wife was there. She's seen it.
She's impartial, or she's partial.
But I'm going to try to sit over here and land the plane on the runway live. We just have to set it up for a second. But
I'm going to do play-by-play.
Play-by-play.
I'm also going to videotape it.
Yeah, so look for that on our Facebook page, I guess. But we'll put it on the end of this episode as well.
Yeah.
But I tried it once since then, and I overshot it and crashed. So we'll see what happens. Oh, here we go!
Landing sequence. Now we find out if he's
ready, Mojo?
Shit.
This is gonna be terrible. Oh, please let me land it. Oh, come on. Level out.
Speed down.
I'm speeding down.
Speed down. You're gonna go overshoot it. Speed up. I don't remember why I don't like this game. Getting closer. Moment of truth. Will he land it? Can he do it? Video evidence. Pressure's on. Oh, so close. And...
No! I did it, I swear. Maybe next time.
Oh.
Damn it. I thought I had it. I saw it coming in. I was like, ah! Damn it! Well, no history made today.
Nope.
Just some idiot thinking he was good at games.
Well, you can do a weekly try. Keep trying until you actually make it.
Yeah, I'll record it at home. I'll get it. But so
yeah, it's not the Game Genie plugged in.
Yeah, no Game Genie here. You can look. I'll prove it again. I did it once. I know it's possible now. I didn't even know it was a thing. Never ever saw that animation. Well, that was my complete failure. Not only did I suck at quizzes, I sucked at the...
Crash landed.
Yeah, but did you see that? That was some skill shooting. I guess that's it for the podcast.
There's a couple things.
Oh, you got a couple things more?
I was going to talk about the giveaway.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We were trying to come up with a giveaway, something to kind of bring interest to people who have never heard of us. And so I went on and emailed 20 to 30 companies, toy companies, comic book companies, did Marvel, DC, Hasbro, stuff like that. Yeah. And I just sent out, looking for anybody that wants to donate or send us something to review so we can put out there. And essentially got, out of the about 30 I sent out, got about 8 responses. Pretty much all of them were not interested. You know, they're nice about it, but you know, one of us put us on our press list. I think was about the best we got.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I was like, you know, we're a small podcast. DC doesn't need our help. You know, they don't need our little advertising to reach so many people. Yeah. And I was like, who would be interested? And I shop on Etsy a lot. Etsy, if you never heard of etsy.com, is essentially like a craft fair online. People who make their own stuff, draw, paint, sell their stuff on Etsy. Have you ever used it?
Not for my stuff, no.
Okay. I mean, just like bought anything off.
Oh, no. I need to, though. I wanted to buy a Nightwing hoodie I saw on there.
There's some really cool stuff on there. So I went on there and searched for, like, people who put out, like, comic book themed stuff. Mm-hmm. And sent out about 15 responses. And I got 5 back within a day. Yeah. All said they were interested.
So that's really good.
So they would send us something. I told them we would, you know, like, talk about it, review it, put a link to their website, and we're going to give it away.
And I looked at a couple. They were really nice.
That's some really cool stuff. Yeah. I've actually had one person email me back and said that they actually sent something. And once we get it, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to put up a giveaway on Facebook, like a like and share type giveaway. Yeah, just going to be a random.
It's a random thing. Yeah, it could be on anything probably. Yeah. Just like and share. Yeah, it's not a specific post. Just we just basically getting the word out.
Right. You know? So we'll throw that contest up whenever we get it. We were going to go ahead and do one this week with a little bit of just geek stuff that we've collected. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure exactly what it is. We'll put it up within a day or two.
Yeah, we get a bunch of stuff from Loot Crate, Nerd Block, stuff like that. Yeah. A lot of stuff that doesn't interest me. We'll give a lot of that away.
Yeah, so check our Facebook page this week. We'll have the guidelines up there, and we'll announce who wins next week on the podcast. Mm-hmm. And then we'll put up contact information, all that.
I can throw in some of my art too, I guess, or something like that. It's just maybe if you win, you could tell me your favorite character, and I might be able to find some time to draw it or something like that.
So check out our Facebook page, Countdown to Geektown. Go to our website, countdowntogeektown.com. Twitter, same thing.
And, you know, just like and share is probably pretty good. I was going to do a review on iTunes. Might get it as well. Yeah. Because we don't have any of that.
It'll be each thing you do, you'll get an entry into the contest.
Right. And the more entries you get, the more... We're going to do like a raffle draw out of a hat.
The more you do, the bigger chance you have of winning.
Yeah. That'd probably be the best way to do it, actually.
Yeah.
So...
Check out our page. There'll be sometime within the next 2 days. I'll put it up.
Yeah, and join the Skype conversation. Yeah. You know, give us something to talk about. You know,
if you have any questions about us or just what we think on something,
we would like to be community driven on some things.
If you want to give your own quiz to Jessie,
yeah, do that. And I promise I won't look it up. I'll just look like a complete and total idiot on here, like always. But I think it was a pretty good episode this week. It was pretty crazy. Yeah. Even though I was thrown under a couple of times, I didn't make history
yet.
But I have. I know I have. So, yet. So, like I said, I will try to record some of those. Me trying it if I can get a stand for my phone or something like that. But thank you guys for coming back. This is our 5th week, so that's a big deal for us, you know. So. Thank you for coming back, and as always, we'll see you later.
Check you later.
Bye, guys.
Check you later.
Hello, everybody. This is Eric and Jessie from Countdown to Geektown.
Hello.
We're coming to you live from the Scenic View Golf Course in, was it Winchester?
No locations, man.
Whatever, shop.
Yeah, Winchester.
Winchester, Tennessee. Thought we'd record a little bit while we're playing. We originally were going to do a beer of the week with every episode and review it and talk about it. And we've actually had to record every episode in the morning, so we didn't want to really drink in the morning. So we're going to drink it all now and do a play-by-play update. First, we have Red's Cranberry Ale.
It was all right. It was better than I thought it would be.
Yeah. I like cranberry, so I thought it was pretty good.
It wasn't too... It didn't have that bad aftertaste.
Yeah. So, 10, what would you give it?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
6.
6? Yeah, I'd say 7. I like it a little bit better. We figured we'd do a little update as we go, play around, review a beer, and give you an update of where we're at.
Yeah, now we're even.
Yeah,
even.
This golf course is a 12-hole course. The first 3 are all practice holes. So, how do you feel going into it?
Shitty.
I feel pretty good. I played good so far. So, but now it counts. So I'll probably suck. So, I'll get back to you and let you know how it goes.
All right.
Okay, we're back. We're on about to tee off for hole 3. We just finished, well, we drank about half of, what was it called?
Let's see. Coney Island.
Orange cream.
Orange cream. Orange cream.
Yeah. What did you think about it?
It was good when I first had it, when I cooked out and drank it. But out here in the hot sun, it tasted
Just
too sweet.
Kind of
Yeah.
sticky taste. Yeah.
It's just too sweet.
What would you give it? I'd give it about a 5. I can say at best, I'd say 5.
Yeah. Yeah, 5 on a night time.
Yeah, and it's one of those things you wouldn't want to drink more than one.
No.
It's like almost like a dessert.
Yeah, it's a dessert drink.
But then we poured that out just because we didn't feel like finishing them.
We got some Australian ale.
Cooper's Sparkling Ale.
Yeah.
What'd you think about it?
Tastes like piss.
I can imagine that's what piss would taste like.
It tastes pretty bad.
It was nasty. We took one sip each and we poured them out.
Yeah.
And they're just disgusting.
So, update on the game.
I'm up by 1 stroke. I'm 3 over and he's 4.
Don't tell him.
He's 4 over. We are not good golfers, folks. So we don't play but once, twice a year. So this is an early start to the season. So that's our update for now. We're about to tee off for hole 3 and we'll get back. Update number 2. We're now on hole number 7. It's tied up 11-11. Jessie caught back up. I'm trying McKenzie's Lazy Lemon Hard Cider. You've had this before, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I'm not a lemon person, but I think it tastes fine. What do you think?
It's pretty good. Probably couldn't have a whole bunch in a row.
Yeah, they give you a lot of heartburn.
Same thing with what I'm drinking now. It's a root beer, which is not good for this hot sun.
No.
Bayou Bootlegger. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's really good. Just a little too sweet
Yeah.
right now. I'll probably switch it up.
I'd say, as far as, I'd give them both by 6.
Yeah. Yeah. Since if it's a little colder,
Yeah. Everything's
probably a
always
little
cool.
higher up on it. It's about 80 degrees out here right now.
Neither one. It's like I said before with the orange soda. They're kind of like a dessert. They're, drink one after you have supper or something. But like I said, we're going into hole number 8. Oh, 7. Tied up. Jesse's teeing off, and we'll be back. All right, folks, we're on the last hole, fixing to tee off. Had a little bull up. Jesse's now up by 2. 17 over to 15 over. Oh, this has not been a good day. But it's been fun. I've had fun.
We're not pros, but you couldn't ask for a better day to play.
Yeah, it's beautiful out. Update, I'm drinking Bold Rock Carolina Draft Hard Cider.
It's an apple cider.
Yeah, and Jesse's drinking Henry's Hard Soda Ginger Ale.
Which actually isn't all that bad out here. I thought it'd be worse.
Yeah.
The dryness of it kind of helps.
No, it's not.
It's not sweet.
Sticky and sweet, yeah. Mine's good as far as the ciders go. It's right there in the middle to me.
Yeah, my favorite's still Angry Orchard Crisp.
Mine's the Gumption.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I give this about a 6. What do you think about the ginger ale?
7, 8.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's not too bad though. I mean, if you can stand ginger ale.
I love ginger ale.
Yeah, so it'd probably be an 8 or 9 on you. If it was a little bit colder, it'd be a lot better out here.